Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well on a Saturday in Knoxville, Tennessee. Thank you for joining Real Estate with Ryan. My name is Ryan Coleman, and I'm your host today. April couldn't be in the studio, a little bit under the weather, but she might drop in on a call here. Never know. We'll see how that goes. But thank you guys for joining us today. Big day today in sports world. Want to make sure you guys understand. You didn't know, playing those Gators in our backyard, and so I want to know what you guys think on the score. If you're out and about before you're doing a little tailgating, if you're out around, give us a call. Studio lines are open, 865-888-TALK, 865-888-8255. So we're going to talk a little real estate before we get going today. And if you got any real estate on your mind, I think I got somebody on the phone here. Let me see if that's April. You there, April? Can't shake her. Can't shake her. How are you? Better? All right, so we got April on the line. Glad you could remote in here today. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get a little news out the way, a little opening, and then we'll get into a great show we've got today. Sounds like we've been busy. It's been a busy September. It's been a busy September. Well, good talking to you, April. Thank you for joining in and doing a little intro. Know you're under the weather, and as always, we hope to see you back here this week, and next week you'll join us, hopefully, right? All right, we'll follow you, and thank you, April. All right, that's April calling in. I had to get her to do a little work even though she's not feeling under the weather, so glad to hear from her. As you know, it's a busy September. We've been extremely busy. Even though the summer has fallen off, sales are skyrocketing. We're moving homes at a record pace. And one listing I left off, and it's saved the best for last, and that is hitting the market this weekend. I just want to tell you about it real briefly, and we'll get into this great show. It's out on Lowe's Ferry Road in Blount County. It's waterfront property. If you have horses, this is the property for you. Almost 7 acres, 8,000 square feet. It was modeled after Mount Vernon, and that went live this weekend. So it's definitely a luxury estate that you definitely want to see. If you want more information on that, check out ryancoleman.org. Okay, done with the news. Let's get into the show. This is a good one. So if you ever bought and sold real estate, you understand how stressful buying or selling a home can be and where it ranks in one of the stressful situations in all time. Let's start with this. So buying or selling a home, how does that rank in one of the most stressful, life-changing events that you can have? Well, there's a survey. And we'll go through some of these items, but 10 of the most stressful things that you can do in life. Guess who's number 1? Buying or selling a property. Number 2, relationship breakup or divorce. Number 3, being made redundant. Not sure what that means, but I guess repetitive there. I don't know how that made the list, but death of a grandparent, getting ill. Number 6, being in debt. Number 7, starting a new job. Maybe exciting and fearful for some. Becoming a parent for the first time. We know how nervous that can be. I can relate. Number 9, planning for a wedding. Or number 10, going bankrupt or broke. So those are the 10 top stressful situations that you may face. So why is real estate a stressful situation? And what can we do to make it a more pleasant situation? Well, let's go back in the beginning and understand what the process is and where we see a lot of people and millennials now and just purchasing the process. I think it first starts when you get married. A lot of couples want to get married, and 62% of people are saving for a home and buying a new home at the same time that they're planning for a wedding. So 38% are planning for that. Median house prices now across the country, $276,800. Average 20% down, about $55,000. The average U.S. wedding in the U.S., 33 grand. That's why Dad needs to pay for it. That's expensive. On average, the U.S. wedding now costs 66% of the median home down payment. 64% of couples are on board for getting delayed or downsizing the wedding so they can get in their home sooner. So if you're getting married, if you're starting a new family, if you're coming from a second marriage and you're combining families and getting marriage, housing prices are skyrocketed. You've got to sell your house, maybe you're combining house. That's where it comes into play. And as you can see, down payment and weddings are not cheap. So getting into the real estate, and I say really where you really separate the great agents from the ones that maybe just don't do it full time or don't put the effort in, this is where you kind of is your bread and butter. So why is selling a property and getting involved, putting a home on the market, looking at homes, relocating, why is that so stressful? Because we're busy with so many different things in the life. Some of the most stressful things in life and regarding that is when you start a new property search. Let's say you're transferred into Knoxville, Tennessee. You don't know the area. You're starting a new job, starting new schools. Where do you turn? So the stress level is already there pretty high. And that's where they're going to rely on your real estate agent to really guide you and put you in the right direction. Show you properties that match specifically what you're looking for and homes that meet your budget on what the inventory is already scarce. With inventory of 4.3% in the market, how challenging is it to find something that you're looking at as prices are going up? Sometimes when getting involved, putting your home on the market, it can happen as quickly as a couple weeks. But you could be on the market for several months. The challenge with that is, does it happen in a week or does it take months? And the biggest thing that I think we're seeing out here is a communication regarding your real estate agent. I'll give a little story about why it's stressful and how we can get tensions level at an all-time high. We have a client that we just helped, we went under contract. April was mentioning before we come up here close on the break. And it's their daughter taking care of her mother. And we'll talk more about that. But basically, they've been there for a while. They need to downsize, they need to go to something sooner on a one level. And the home has been on the market for several years. Now, what was stressful about that was that they weren't getting any offers. And they weren't getting the price that they needed. And they felt like they weren't going to get it done. But as we come on the break, we're going to tell you how we were able to manage that situation, how we were able to close that down, get them happy, and we're writing them their offer over 3 years later this weekend. And we're going to solve that question here and put that, why that stress level has decreased. You're listening to Real Estate with Ryan. You guys stay with us on the break, and we'll talk more about that story and how we helped decrease the stress level.
estate agents operate the same. You have someone right here in your own backyard you can trust if you need to sell your home. I'm talking about Ryan Coleman of Hometown Realty. His system outmarkets and outsells 99% of other agents in the Knoxville area. Ryan spends thousands of dollars every week on marketing, and he drives more buyers to your home, resulting in a home selling faster and for more money. Ryan has been voted by Knoxville News Sentinel as one of the best realtors in your area. What I like is when you call Ryan, you get Ryan. You're not passed off to another agent. On such a big decision like selling your home, you can't afford not to have a hometown expert like Ryan on your side. And don't worry about getting stuck owning 2 homes or no home at all. Ryan guarantees to sell your home at a price and deadline acceptable to you, or he'll buy it himself. How cool is that? Call Ryan directly at 693-SOLD. That's 693-7653, or go to ryancoleman.org and start packing.
The road to retirement has many twists and turns, but a financial GPS can point you in the right direction. Tune in each Saturday afternoon at 1 for Retire the Right Way with Anthony Wright of Retirement Specialty. Start a road trip that will get you to and through retirement. Listen to Retire the Right Way with Anthony Wright. Saturday afternoons at 1 on Talk Radio 92.3 and AM 760. Knoxville's talk you can trust.
Hi, this is John Adams. When you want to hear the best political talk in the Knoxville market, of course, you know you're at the right place. Talk Radio 92.3 and AM 760. If you want to hear the best in Christian talk, then you need to consider Joy 620, WRJZ, our sister station that does conservative talk and Christian talk in East Tennessee.
The views and opinions heard on the programs which are on Talk Radio 92.3 and AM 760 are those of the hosts and guests of those programs and not necessarily those of the station or management.
We're talking real estate with Ryan Coleman of Hometown Realty.
Join the conversation on the Fuel Magic Hotline at 865-888-TALK.
Talk Radio 92.3 and AM 760.
All right, so we're coming back after the break, and we were talking about this lovely couple that we were helping and why the stress level could be so high. I want to relate that story. So this couple, obviously, mom's getting old and they need to downsize, and it was too much space. And you know that sometimes these homes can just overtake your life. And we always say in real estate, in our market, and what we help people, we say that homes or houses always have a season in life. Well, the season life has come. They've had several agents help them on this transaction. It's been 3 or 4 years in the market. Challenging on that, very frustrating, from pricing to marketing to communication. And they really needed it. This home where the client was really beyond the years of needing to get out of there, and really kind of felt like a hopeless situation if it was ever going to happen. We were able to step in and solve that solution, but it was not easy. Number one, because sometimes when you don't get the right advice up front and you're on the market longer, it makes it very, very challenging. I always tell clients that, unfortunately, the longer that you sit on the market and you're not successful, it makes it more challenging to get it resold. And the reason that is if you've advertised to the public, if you have not had the right advice, remember, we've got to get away from these lowball offers. After 2 or 3 years on the market, even if the real estate market is in a good position, you're still going to get those offers. So a lot of the frustration came in 2 or 3 years on the market. What do? Mom's health is not the best. You can see why buying or selling real estate can be very stressful. Why is it stressful? Because so much that's involved with our family, sick elderly parents, divorce, a lot of things going on top of buying and selling, where we're going to move, who's moving the moving truck. We're able to get that done, and we're, like April said, we're taking care of the purchase for them today, and they couldn't be more happy. How do we do that? How do we do it well? How do we decrease the stress level? I think the biggest thing that you're looking for in when you sell or purchase real estate, it starts with the agent. We do this show every week, and we do it live. We try to do it the best we can, 110% effort. But what you want to see is who you're getting when you're going to deal with. Your home could be on the market for a couple weeks, or your market could be on the market for a year. You need somebody that you can trust. You need a team of support people that have been there and done that before. That can, I think our biggest thing that what we do is come in, and you got to make a situation calm. You've got to calm people down. And you got to understand that I've been hollered at, I've been cussed at, I've had all kinds of things. And you got to understand that it's not you, and you're the sounding board. I know you guys in a relationship, sometimes you come home and husband or wife's had a hard day, and all you hear is bark, 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 bark. Understand that's the frustration of life. And our job, and I think our biggest job, is to be a sounding board, to listen to the clients and understand that what it takes is to focus on the main goal and all the things that are involved. And the difference between the good ones and the bad ones are that able to do that at a high level, that have been there, done that, and can walk them through the process. We're already getting our bottle of champagne for these clients. They say we're already celebrating. That's what we like to hear. But that wasn't through a lot of, upset nights, all these different things, calls, confusion, pull it on the market, pull it off the market. See, these are the things that lead to a very stressful situation. And understanding that, when we did a survey, it said that 1 out of 7 people that had purchased a property said the deal collapsed because of a poor real estate agent or the transaction. And the other half pulled out because of the rising frustration levels. And of those half people, they said they had a negative situation. And there's no substitute for experience, and there's no substitute for being there multiple times. And that's the challenge that you have when sometimes you haven't been there, you haven't had the experience, you haven't been through those situations, and you've got to be that calming voice to where we need to be. I'll give you another story. We were talking with some clients, and we just sold their property, and we made it stress-free. We made it less stress-free, but it still was stressful. And they're in the market for 6 months, did not have the success that they needed. We were able to sell it in less than 40 days. Now, keep in mind they had limited to no showings. The frustration with them was they had health concerns. They're living out of state. So think about this, the normal stress that you're going to get with selling a property and living out of state. And guess what? Now the husband or the wife is ill. Now there's health issues. Guess what? There's paperwork. There's closing work. And then they got to come back for closing. So we made a lot of that easier where that's seamless, that they didn't have to come back. Little things, guys, like taking the AT&T wireless remote or the internet system back. All right, these are things, but these are stressful things, especially to our seniors that are a little bit up in age. And I know we were talking about $95 for a propane reading on one we did. But see, all these things have added for the time. And that's why you need a great agent regarding those situations. We were able to solve that situation, and April just announced those as one of our closed transactions, but they couldn't be more happier. But that's not with the bumps in the road, right? That's not with those things that we come through. So I think, on the selling side, there's that. And then let's look at the buyers with what's going on in the market now. With multiple offers, hard to find properties that we need. One of the things that we recommend our client, I know you've seen it, we're not the only one that does it, but if you're purchasing property, maybe you get into multiple offer situations, you're seeing a letter being written. I know we just did one on 2 properties that we did, and it gives a personal touch. Understand this is a business transaction to a lot of sellers and people involved, but you make it at a personal situation when you're able to write that letter and really stand out and understand. Say, listen, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, this is why I'm buying your home. This is why I want your home, and everything involved. And, little picture. I know I had a little young couple. It was their first home. They were sweet as pie. And they just gave us this awesome testimonial. And it was so hard for them because they had a budget. And everything is so expensive. But we're able to get their first home, and they just wrote the sweetest little letter, picture, and everything involved. And you know what? It made the difference. So things like that really help separate the stress level. It separates from the competition, but these are things that you can do. Have you guys had any situations like that you've had a situation where you've had a salesperson involved or a professional involved that you maybe didn't get the right advice and kind of led to the frustration? It was already a stressful situation. You're already moving, or whether it's taxes or some kind of advice that you're leaning on, and you get in that position and you get the advice that actually makes it worse. Or you ever look at yourself in the mirror and you go, what in the world am I dealing with this person for? Do they even know what they're doing? I mean, I know you've been there, and we have as well. We do this show every week, and we do it hopefully, we try to do it the best we can, but it's 110% effort. And why we do it is to show you what we do behind the scenes. And I think more than anything, we want to show you who you're working with. We want to show you that there's a lot of solutions out there. There's a lot of great agents, and there's a lot of opportunity. But just because our friend Zillow and the internet search engines are very, very high, I don't think that you'll ever see a place for the professional regarding what we talk about. Because buying and selling home, as you know, talks about one of the most stressful situations that you're going to have. And sometimes just getting the deal worked out, well, that's just part of it. It's managing all the emotions. One of the agents that we were talking to, she said, well, people just get angry. They get angry. I mean, is that true? What do you do when they get angry? How do we handle that situation? Well, it's hard, and sometimes you got to bite your tongue. But remember, we're in it to win it. Teamwork is the dream work, right? Teamwork to make the dream work. And we don't make that happen without a great seller. We don't make it happen without a great team. And so when you're looking for a team, you're thinking about purchasing, you're thinking about selling. You know, you hear us every Saturday here at 11 o'clock in Talk Radio. Talk you can trust. And I hope we audition for you, me and April, that we do this every week. I hope you understand that we really mean what we say. We spend a lot of time and effort, and if you ever think about selling, we'd be honored to come out and talk to you, give you some free advice, talk to you, and hopefully just kind of interview for the job of earning your business. Now that being said, we're going to close the show out, but I do have some suggestions. I got about 2 or 3 minutes here. Big game if you guys are riding around. I don't know if you're Florida or Tennessee. We bleed orange over here, and I think we're going to have a great game. I think it's going to be a competitive game. I don't know what you guys are thinking, but we're starting at 7 o'clock. We've got the national championship coming back in town. The boys are back. I think some people are underestimating UT this year. I think we've got a great coach, got a great staff, and I think our best is yet to come. I think today you're going to see the Vols show out at home. Neyland Stadium's going to be rocking. I think we're going to see about 107,000 strong, and you're going to be surprised. I think our Vols are going to show up today. But I think it's going to be a close one. My suggestion for the game today, 2017 Vols pull it out in a field goal, and we get our first SEC win of the year. Every week Saturday, right here on Talk Radio, you can catch us live in the studios. We've got great staff here, always working hard to keep us in line. That's not easy. Easy number to remember us. It's 693-7653 or 693-SOLD. You can visit us online at ryancoleman.org. Any questions you got every Saturday here on Talk Radio, 92.3 FM, AM 760. Till next week, I hope you guys have a great weekend. We're going to exit out on Rocky Top. We'll see you next week. Thank you guys for staying with us. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. Go Vols, and we'll catch you next week. Thank you.